So in what could be a massive day for Iowa basketball,
Iowa fans, get ready, because what I'm about to share could completely reshape the future of Hawkeye basketball for the next decade. For months, the buzz has been building. Whispers, rumors, cryptic posts, and bold crystal ball predictions. And now, it feels like Iowa is on the brink of landing its biggest recruiting victory since Caitlin Clark first rocked the black and gold. The name you need to know, McKenna Witzko, a five-star sensation, ranked as high as the number 6 player in the entire nation.
McKenna Witzko? There were always the rumors she was going to go to Iowa. There were always the rumors that she was going to go. And it's still not for certain. There's absolutely no guarantee that she's going to be at Iowa. However, it is seemingly very likely. So
we're talking about a player who has dominated both high school and international competition, a rising star who poured in 19 points during the U17 World Cup final. She's got the size, the versatility, and that relentless two-way motor every powerhouse program in the country is desperate to land.
Crystal ball predictions here. 10 out of 10 lock for somebody who has a 100% accuracy on their predictions. Predicted a 10 out of 10 lock for Iowa. The page on... What is the page? This slim, milky page. I don't know who it is, but they absolutely were leaking half of the stuff in college.
USC wants her. South Carolina wants her. Ohio State wants her. Yet, somehow, every sign is pointing straight to Iowa. Assistant coaches are dropping black and gold heart emojis. Eyeball emojis are flooding X. And recruiting insiders are locking in their crystal ball predictions with 100% confidence. Hawkeye Nation is already daring to dream about life after Caitlin Clark, and it might just be brighter than anyone imagined.
And posted a thing about Iowa Caitlin Clark. And they are, if she ends up coming, like she's a top 6 or 7 player in the nation. It says here, sources tell me McKenna Witzko, college decision expecting the next week. Family's great discussions last weekend and preparations are being made for the announcement. She'll choose between USC, South Carolina, Iowa, and Ohio State.
Looking brighter than anyone ever imagined. But make no mistake, this isn't just about one commitment. This is about Iowa proving that Caitlin Clark wasn't some once-in-a-lifetime miracle. This is about sending a message to the entire women's college basketball world. Iowa is a national power, and they're here to stay. And if McKenna Witzko actually commits to the Hawkeyes, forget a Sweet 16 run. We're talking Final Four potential year after year.
She was a starter. She played 36 minutes last year in the U17 World Cup final. Like, she had 19 points in the U17 World Cup final. Like, obviously, you have players. And funnily enough, like, UConn, I think, are looking for Addison Bjorn, who are, like, who kind of plays the same position at that 3-4.
So let's break it all down. Before we dive in, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, and drop your predictions in the comments, because this could be huge. Is McKenna really about to shock the world and choose Iowa? To understand just how seismic this commitment would be, we've got to rewind and look at the bigger picture. For years, Iowa wasn't exactly considered a recruiting hotspot. Sure, they've developed stars. Legends like Megan Gustafson, and of course, Caitlin Clark.
If she comes in, she's gonna come in as realistically as a freshman to a team with Addie Deal. They're still gonna have Ava Hayden's still gonna be there. Guyton's gone, but they have what's her name? Chit Chat, the guard. I think she's still gonna be there. Like, Stremlo was a freshman, wasn't she? Yeah, Taylor Stremlo was a freshman.
But when it came to consistently landing 5-star, top 10 national recruits, Iowa wasn't even in the conversation. That was UConn's lane. That was South Carolina's lane. That was Stanford, Notre Dame, Baylor, programs with endless pipelines of elite talent. Then came Caitlin Clark. And she changed everything. She didn't just put Iowa on the map. She made them the story in women's basketball. Every arena sold out. TV ratings smashed records. Suddenly, every recruit in America understood one thing. If you ball out at Iowa, the entire country is going to be watching.
And if she comes in, as their top, obviously Addie Deal's their first 5-star since Caitlin Clark. But from having no 5 stars since Caitlin Clark to getting 2 5-stars back-to-back years. And not only a 5-star, a super duper 5-star in the case of McKenna. Like a starter for Team USA, albeit like it's not necessarily what ranking they are, it's how they play. Like you took in Hannah Stolke, who was barely a top 50 recruit, and she goes and is playing starter minutes at AmeriCup.
Fast forward to last year. Lisa Bludder and her staff landed Addie Deal, Iowa's first 5-star recruit since Caitlin Clark. That move alone proved the Hawkeyes weren't fading after their superstars' graduation. They were reloading. Now, McKenna Witzko steps into the spotlight. And she's not just another 5-star. She's a Team USA starter, a 6 feet 2 inches forward with the kind of versatility that makes coaches lose their minds. As a sophomore, she averaged 22 points and 8 rebounds per game and was on pace for a monster junior season before an ACL injury slowed her down. But here's the kicker. Even with that setback, she's still one of the most coveted players in the entire 2026 class. And the buzz? It's deafening. She's weighing offers from South Carolina, USC, Ohio State, and Iowa. Programs stacked with national titles, recruiting dynasties, and endless pipelines of talent. And yet Iowa, powered by momentum, fan energy, and Caitlin Clark's lasting impact, is sitting right there at the table. What makes McKenna Witzko such a potential game changer? At 6 feet 2 inches, she's the definition of a hybrid forward. Strong enough to battle in the paint, quick enough to defend wings, and skilled enough to create her own shot in the mid-range. She's not one of those recruits who relies only on size and athleticism. She's got polished footwork, high IQ decision-making, and a defensive motor that screams future pro. And the biggest thing? Her poise. On the international stage, she never flinched. In the U17 World Cup final, she logged 36 minutes, barely came off the floor, and still dropped 19 points. That's the kind of fearlessness that separates good recruits from future stars.
There is no team that get rallied around quite like Iowa. There's no team where you're going to have, if you're in the tournament, Caitlin Clark sitting courtside every single game. That's not going to happen. And I think all in all, this is a team that absolutely has an opportunity to be good again, and maybe not to the level of making national championship finals.
Ohio State is a solid option, but stylistically, their guard-heavy pressure defense system doesn't spotlight versatile forwards the way McKenna deserves. Then you look at Iowa, and suddenly everything clicks. Iowa's offense thrives on versatility, spacing, ball movement, and exploiting mismatches. It's tailor-made for a forward like McKenna. She wouldn't just be another piece of the puzzle. She'd be the piece that elevates the whole thing. Pair her with Addie Deal in the backcourt and Ava Hayden in the frontcourt, and suddenly Iowa has a core that can stand toe-to-toe with anyone. If Caitlin Clark was the spark, McKenna Witzko could be the foundation. But here's the big question. How real is this buzz? Is Iowa actually ready to steal her from the Blue Blood Giants? Because on paper, Iowa shouldn't even be in this race. Let's be real. South Carolina and Dawn Staley have built a dynasty. USC has Los Angeles, nil money pouring in, and a media spotlight no one else can match. Ohio State has Big Ten resources and a proven track record. And yet, it's Iowa that everyone's whispering about. It started with recruiting insiders locking in their crystal ball predictions, not just leaning Iowa, stamping it as a 10 out of 10 lock. That alone sent shockwaves through women's basketball. Then came the not-so-subtle hint from Iowa assistant coach Jan Jensen, black and gold hearts, and a string of eyeball emojis on X. No press release, no official announcement, but in today's recruiting world, that's basically a siren going off. Still, here's the contradiction. McKenna's finalists, South Carolina, USC, and Ohio State, they all make sense. They're proven, established, and decorated. Iowa, outside of Caitlin Clark, they've never been known as a consistent five-star magnet. So the question is this just smoke, or is there real fire? And hanging over all of it, the ACL injury. McKenna is still a top 10 recruit despite missing her junior season. But you can bet rival coaches are whispering in her ear. Do you really want to gamble on Iowa, a program still trying to prove it belongs, when you could walk into a powerhouse like South Carolina and practically guarantee a Final Four run?
But when you put her in, if you put her into that Iowa system in a couple of years' time with Addie Deal, and that's the thing where I'm like, you've now got kind of an inside partner for your combo guard in Addie Deal, because she can then go and play beside Ava Hayden. Ava Hayden is like, I mean this when I say this, Ava Hayden is going to be huge for them.
First, you've got Addie Deal, the five-star combo guard who broke Iowa's long drought of elite recruits. The Deal is dynamic. She can create off the dribble, slash to the rim, and control the tempo offensively. But like every guard, she needs a reliable partner in the front court. Someone who can finish plays, draw defenders, and own the glass. Enter McKenna Witzko. She's not just a forward, she's a connector. The kind of player who can free up space for Deal while still demanding her own touches. And Iowa's system, with its spacing and movement, practically begs for a versatile forward who can score inside, defend multiple spots, and rebound at a high level. Then there's Ava Hayden. If you caught her in the Big Ten tournament, you saw the flashes. After a quiet freshman year, she suddenly strung together back-to-back double-digit games, hitting shots and looking like a future cornerstone. Pairing her with McKenna gives Iowa a front court that could rival anybody in the nation. And don't sleep on the supporting cast. Guards like Taylor Stremlow, Tegan Malegny, and Lucy Olson bring depth, toughness, and shooting. By the time McKenna arrives, this won't be a one-woman show. It'll be a complete roster, loaded with weapons. The exact kind of team built to make deep tournament runs. Now just imagine it. Caitlin Clark sitting courtside, watching the next wave take over. Addie Deal breaking down defenders. Ava Hayden dominating in the paint. And McKenna Witzko pulling it all together. That's not just the future of Iowa basketball. That's the future of women's college basketball.
Like, her in the... If you looked at Ava Hayden, how she played in the championship game, like, or sorry, in the championship, in the tournament, she wasn't very good against... she was not great against Oklahoma. But, like, Oklahoma were good, and they had, like, Reagan Beers. They had players. And also, as much as I will be supporting Iowa this year, I'm also begrudgingly a de facto UConn fan, as well as that Texas and most.
For women's college basketball as a whole, this would be massive. It proves that parity is real, that stars are willing to spread out, and that programs outside the traditional powerhouses can build empires of their own. And let's be honest, the sport is at its best when more programs matter. When Final Fours aren't just predictable scripts, but true battlegrounds. That if McKenna Witzko chooses Iowa, this isn't just about winning games. This is about legacy. About proving that Caitlin Clark wasn't the end of Iowa's story. She was the beginning. So here we are. The decision is looming. The rumors are deafening. And the stakes? They couldn't be higher. For Iowa, this isn't just about landing a 5-star. It's about showing the world that Caitlin Clark wasn't lightning in a bottle. It's about proving Iowa can keep building, that they can stand toe-to-toe with South Carolina, UConn, USC, and Ohio State and win. Because if McKenna Witzko puts on the black and gold, the message is crystal clear. Iowa isn't just a feel-good underdog story anymore. They're a national powerhouse. They can recruit with the best, develop with the best, and play on the biggest stage with the best. And let's not downplay this. McKenna isn't just another recruit. She's a program changer, a player with international experience, proven under pressure, and one of the most talented athletes ever to consider Iowa. Pair her with Addie Deal. Pair her with Ava Hayden. Surround her with shooters and depth. That's not just a tournament team. That's a Final Four blueprint. That's a roster built to carry the Hawkeyes into the national spotlight long after Caitlin Clark's name is etched into history. Or is it all smoke? Will a powerhouse like South Carolina swoop in and pull her away? We're about to find out. Hawkeye Nation, if you believe McKenna Witzko is about to choose Iowa, drop a fire in the comments right now. Smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're new, and buckle up, because the next era of Iowa basketball might be closer than you think. The Clark era built the brand. The Witzko era could build the dynasty.